Assalamualaikum and good day. I bid to madam and fellow classmates. So today I want to give an informative speech about obesity and in Malaysia. So as you all know, Malaysia had been categorized as the fattest country in Asia. Overweight and obesity. Overweight and obesity are a medical condition involving an abnormal or excessive fat accumulation that present a negative impact of health. The easiest way to determine whether a person is overweight or obese is through measuring their body mass index, or as known as BMI. Body mass index is the measurement obtained by dividing a person's weight by the square of the person's height. Obesity is defined by having a BMI of 30 kg per meter square or more, while the overweight is defined by having BMI of 25 until 30 kg per meter square. So, this is the example that newspaper from Malaysia. They also does not deny that our country is the fattest country. So, this figure 1 shows the percentage of overweight population with BMI more than 25 as the standardized adjusted estimate adults. I get this data from the Economist Intelligence Unit 2017. It shows that Malaysia has the highest percentage in all categories, which are overall categories, male and female categories. It then took the first place between Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines and Vietnam. Next, figure 2 shows the percentage of obesity prevalence population with BMI more than 30 as a standardized adjusted estimate adults. It also shows that Malaysia took the first place, which have the highest percentage in overall, in male and in female categories. So the first factors of this obesity in Malaysia is the food intake and daily activities. Have you ever heard or have you ever seen any of your skinnier friends who eat much more than the bigger one? People start to argue and think that it is not fair. Then they start to blame their slow metabolism was the cause of their weight problem. So, what is metabolism? The sum total of all physical and chemical changes that take place within the body. Energy from the food that we do for the hormones and enzymes, that we do for the growth, that we do for the metabolic process. So as in the overview, metabolism is the process by which cells break down the food such as glucose, such as fat, such as protein to release their stored energy. And the metabolism can only be happen by the presence of the chemical energy from the carbohydrate, from the fats, and with the presence of the heat, which we will get that heat from the activities that we do. So that's two is the important things that need to present for our metabolism to be processed. Metabolism is actually such a complicated process in our body. So the food purchase, regardless of the taste, energy density, cost, convenience, health, variety, need to go through physiology metabolism, and the health outcome is based on that food purchase that we get. Energy balance means calories in need to have the same level as the calories out. For example, when we take some food which contain calories, it means that we will gain the weight. But for the energy balance, we need to have the weight maintenance, which we will need to have the weight loss same as the weight gain just now by doing some vigorous activities. For example, when we have dodo which contain at least 71 calories, we need to do a regular speed jog for 8 minutes to burn that calories. Other than that, bubur kacang hijau which contains 76 calories, we need to do a stair climbing for 60 minutes so that we can get the weight maintenance. For your information, calories burned in male and female are different. For example, male have higher tendency to burn more calories than female, regardless of their same activities, their same age, and their same time doing that activities. For example, a male doing a cleaning window for about 30 minutes, he will lose 131 calories. While female, by doing the same activities, which is cleaning window, and the same time, which took 30 minutes, will only lose 101. So the second factor is the world around us influence our ability to maintain the healthy weight. Obesity is caused by eating more calories than you burn through exercise or normal daily activities. For example, when I give you two choices, which are an apple and a donut, which one will you choose? Of course, you will choose donut because it is more delicious. Not only you, it's me too, and most of us also will choose that donut. But regardless of the regardless of the flavors that we choose, we need to know that donuts contain more calories than an apple, which means we need to do more activities to burn the calories in donut than the apple. So environment cues exert the powerful influence on our eating behavior, and unlike the biological factors on nutritional environment, in the past 50 years, it has totally changed. The use term of the toxic environment to refer this new dietary atmosphere, which characterized by the massive exposure to the food that is energy dense, heavily marketed, cheap, and widely accessible, accompanied by the lack of physical activity. Malaysia, popular with variety of food which contain various flavors. Although Health Ministry had given us the food pyramid as the guidance so that we can follow it on our eating habit, but seems everyone does not follow it anymore and just enjoy any food as much as they want. With the higher price that was put on the healthy food become obstacle despite the hard work to gain the money. Malaysians have a habit that they want to invest an amount of money for the huge amount of food. That's why they prefer to buy unhealthy food, which is more cheaper than a healthy food, which is more pricey. For example, a nasi lemak, which only costs 50 cents or at least 1 ringgit, it is the cheapest meal for Malaysian. Regardless of that cheaper price, it contains much ingredient in it, such as boiled egg, such as cucumber. But when we take a look of the calorie breakdown, it can cost the total of 860 calories. It means when we took the 860 calories in, we need to take that 860 calories out too for our weight to maintain balance. But most of us just ignore it, and after they eat nasi lemak, they will take a rest or they will sit down, play with their phone, or else some of us also just sleep after having that heavy meal with which contain the high calories. So that's why our Malaysian have that obesity problem. So the last factors is genetics play a role in obesity. Genetics can play a role on how your body convert the food into energy and how your body burns the calories during exercise. Women who are obese have higher tendency to choose an obese man. And that's why the probability of that child have the obese gene is more, which then will make that the child become obese too. Plus, with the daily activities of the parents and the food intake daily, make the tendency getting higher because the child is mostly surrounded by the parents and just copy what their parents do. Genes are not the way to predict the upcoming health. Gene and behavior are the combination for a person to become obese. In some cases, multiple genes may increase one probability to become obese, but outside factors also needed in this process, such as too much food intake and very little physical activities. So the conclusion is our healthcare is determined by the nutrition that we consume on our daily life, by the culture, lifestyle, healthcare that we practice in our daily activities, and by the metabolic imbalance, genetic and diseases development that we get from other people. Also, the environmental exposure affect the culture, lifestyle, and healthcare in our daily life, and also affect the metabolic exposure, genetic, and diseases development on ourselves. So, uh, the tips for me is for you having a fun exercise, for you having a happy exercise, so that you will want to do more and more exercise, is by doing the exercise with your beloved family. You can do also the exercise at the outdoor. You can do the exercise with your partner, which will make you become more energetic maybe. And lastly, you can also do the exercise with your best friend, which will always accompany you. So that's why you will become more excited to do any activities with those persons. So that's all from me for the obesity in Malaysia. With that, I thank you.